Today's video is going to be a little bit different than what we're normally used to. It's going to be a little bit more conversational, maybe a little bit more thought-provoking, and hopefully, the aim of this video is that this conversation is going to get you inspired, maybe give you some new ideas. And if you're watching this video, hopefully this is, that extra little sign, that extra little push that you needed today to get your business started. So let's get into it. And I also want to let you know that we put a lot of time and thought and effort into creating content that we think you guys are going to find useful and love. So I'm happy to see that a lot of you guys are enjoying this. So the question that we're answering here is, does the world need more small businesses? And the first point that I want to make, and probably one of the most important things, is that small businesses lead to innovation. Small businesses by nature are going to be scrappy, they're going to be resilient, and it's their risks that are leading to innovation, and that's what moves the world forward. So in that respect, yes, we need small businesses. Small businesses support the local economy. So not only are small businesses important for industry innovation, but they're also important in boosting the local economy. And that's because they play within ecosystems that enable other small businesses to thrive in their wake. So what I mean by this is that entrepreneurship facilitates even more entrepreneurship. So let's say you own a small business and maybe you have a photo shoot. You're going to probably need to hire maybe a makeup artist, a photographer, and maybe a couple of models. So right there, I just named 3 different parties that would be involved in the ripple effect there. And that's just one particular day in the life of this business. So hopefully you can see what I mean by this. I mean, when you deal locally, your dollars stay in the local community and they help local businesses and local development. So this might not be true in every case, but generally speaking, small businesses have a shorter journey from manufacturer to consumer. And what that means is that there's more transparency about ingredients and materials. And that's because small businesses are often the makers themselves, or they're just more aware of their own supply chain because they produce their goods locally, or they're more involved. In contrast to a big box store, small businesses often have the means to manufacture locally or more ethically. And that's usually because they order in smaller quantities. This world would be so cold and so sterile without small businesses. There would be no intimacy, no level of personalization, and that's just because the bigger businesses can't really keep up with a level of personalization at that scale. But with small businesses, they don't have layers of management and corporate policy. And small business owners can pretty much make up their own rules. So what that means is that small businesses are willing to bend over backwards for each shopper. Each customer matters when you're small. So that creates a subculture, it creates meaningful relationships, and it ultimately creates a sense of community. So hopefully that inspired you. I personally think that there can't be enough small businesses. And I think what you have to bring to the table is important because you're bringing something that's uniquely you to this world. There will be nothing like it just by way of being your own idea. I hope this has been helpful. But now we're going to talk about the top 5 things that you're going to need in order to get started today. The idea. Okay, so the first and probably the biggest hurdle and the most daunting thing that you're going to have to get over is coming up with that initial idea. So the good news is that once you have figured this step out, you're going to have some momentum going. But the question is, how do you come up with an idea that people are going to want to buy? The quickest and easiest way to come up with a business idea is analyzing a current situation and then noticing any problems and then being that company that provides a solution. So that problem could be a problem you're having with a particular product, or it could be a problem a colleague's having or a family member's having. But as long as you're able to solve a problem and it's represented by a community at large, then you are in a great place to start a business. Okay, so the Comfy, for example, this is a wearable blanket that keeps you cozy not just on the couch, but if you're gonna get up, get a drink, it's gonna keep you cozy just like around the house. So while this is not solving world hunger, it definitely is solving the problem of wanting to stay warm and cozy around the house. So your idea just needs to solve a pain point for a specific demographic. When you're brainstorming, I recommend you make a list and make 2 columns. On the one side, you're gonna have the problem column, and then on the other side, you're gonna have the solution that you and your company can bring. And honestly, just let yourself be loose with this. What I like to do is I like to set a timer for 30 seconds, and I'm like super loose. I just jot down my wildest ideas, and then the timer will go off. You'll review the list, and you can bring your ideas back to earth later. So that's one tactic, but we actually have an entire playlist with videos devoted just to helping you find a product idea. So if you're interested in learning more, I will just leave a link right up here, and you can just hit Control click or Command click, and that will open a new window for you guys to watch later in your browser. If you wanted to go a level even deeper, make sure that you are checking out our free 40-minute webinar. It's going to teach you how to find winning product ideas, how to validate those ideas, and how to get started. So I will leave a link for you guys in the description box for you to get started with that free training. All right, so next up is the product. So once you have your idea, you're gonna need to source your product. If you're gonna be selling something that already exists, then you can definitely take to Alibaba to source it, but just keep in mind that Alibaba will have higher minimum order quantities. You'll probably have to buy thousands when you're dealing with Alibaba. But if you want to be lean with your inventory or just test out the market, then definitely check out AliExpress, and you can buy as little as 1 unit at a time, but keep in mind that you will be paying more per unit. If your product is not already made, you're gonna need to find a manufacturer. So you can find a manufacturer on AliExpress. So what you'll do is you'll search for a product that's similar to your idea. Then you're gonna click on suppliers, and then you'll hit search. And then you're gonna find a list of suppliers that you can easily reach out to. Now, if you're not ready to work with a manufacturer, maybe you just need a smaller run, then don't underestimate the power of using Upwork and Facebook groups together. So first you can use Upwork to find a product designer, and then you can take to Facebook groups to find someone to actually go ahead and create your products. So, for example, let's say you're making jewelry. First, you would go on Upwork to find someone to create your 3D designs for your pieces. And then once you have those, you're gonna wanna go on Facebook, join a couple of jewelry design groups, and create a post saying that you're looking for a silversmith to actually go ahead and make those designs. If you want to learn the 5 steps in finding a manufacturer or a supplier, we've actually already filmed this video, and that's going to help you with your product idea. So I will leave a link for you guys right here to check that out once you're done with this video. The branding. You're going to need branding to set yourself apart. This is not just your logo. Okay, so it is your logo, but it's also your colors, your font, and your photography style. Branding also encompasses what you stand for as a business. So to be clear with yourself, and what you look like, and what you believe in, you're gonna wanna create a document that's called a brand book. A brand book is gonna outline your visual identity, it's gonna outline your tone of voice, and what your values are. So to do this, you can hire a designer on Upwork, or you can do it yourself if you're trying to cut on costs, and you can use a tool called Canva for this. But branding is important because it gives your demographic visual cues that you get them, that you understand them. You know who they are. You actually might be who they are. So therefore, you get what they like, you get what they don't like, and you understand what they want and need. Branding is a language that you want to be fluent in. And this step is going to be crucial for you guys. So if you are wanting to dive a little bit deeper into how to create a successful brand in 6 steps, then you're definitely going to want to check out this video right here. The platform. So you have your idea, you have your product, you've established your branding, and now the next step is finding a platform or finding a place to sell. Now, with everything that's been going with COVID, more and more small business owners are getting set up online. Whether you have a retail space or not, allowing for customers to make purchases online is an essential part of doing business. Having e-commerce set up means that you're pretty much open 24/7 to the entire world for a fraction of what a retail space could cost you. So this is 100% necessary. Even when I'm talking to my friends or if I'm just talking to my clients one-on-one, I do always recommend Shopify for this. I find it to be the quickest, I find it to be easiest, and the most flexible way to be selling online. And I find that it makes the more cumbersome and the more complicated steps, like shipping and fulfillment, I find that Shopify makes this a million times easier than if I were to be using a different platform. So if you do want to get started, the nice thing with Shopify is that you get 2 weeks to play around with a free trial. This is going to give you time to make your store look just how you want it. You can add your own branding, you can start adding your products, and you can just start making your sales right away. So I will actually leave a link for you guys in the description box if you want to get started with that free trial, and that's gonna give you that extra boost on your business journey. When you're getting started with your actual store, keep in mind that it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be good and it has to be functional. I find that a lot of entrepreneurs want to make it like super perfect before they launch, but keep in mind that this can be a forever thing. You might never launch if you do that. So here are the 6 things that you will need before you can launch your store. So you'll need a homepage. You're going to need an About Us page. You'll also need to input your products, a shipping and return policy, and your contact page. And those will be the first few items that you would need and a great place to start. We actually just released the ultimate Shopify tutorial for beginners. It is amazing. So if you are looking to remove the guesswork and just get your store set up super quickly, make sure that you are checking this tutorial out right here, and you can check that out after this video. The marketing skills. And then lastly, you're gonna wanna be up on your marketing skills. Once you establish yourself online, it's going to be an ongoing, lifelong journey to continue to drive traffic and continue making those sales. So keeping up to date with your marketing skills will help your business grow. Now, one way to do that is to subscribe to this channel. We actually have an entire playlist dedicated to marketing. So if you are looking to level up your marketing skills, drive some traffic to your online store, and start making sales, make sure that you are checking that out. You should also check out Udemy. Udemy is an online learning platform that has very inexpensive courses on very specific topics. So if you're running a business, you're going to want to learn things like how to use TikTok to make sales, or you might want to learn how to reach out to distributors and wholesalers. Those are all things that you can definitely learn on Udemy. But the key is to stay up to date with your marketing education. And it doesn't have to be like an intense university course. It can literally just be you checking up online, making sure that you're staying up to date, like more of like a casual but steady learning. And oftentimes the internet is more ahead of institutions and it's free. So there you have it. All right, so hopefully you found this video helpful. If you did find it helpful, make sure that you are giving it a big thumbs up because that helps our channel and it helps our community grow. Other than that, if you did have any questions that were left unanswered throughout this video, do drop them in the comment section. I'll make sure to get back to all of you. But other than that, if you're wanting to see more videos just like this with simple, actionable tips that are gonna help you get your business journey on the way, then make sure that you are subscribed to this channel, Learn with Shopify. And that's it. So thanks for tuning in. I'm your host, Michelle, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.